Here are the most important Easter eggs that you might have missed from the Book of Boba Fett episode 6. Pretty sure it's obvious by now, but yeah, spoilers ahead. Starting off the episode, we get Cobb Vanth laying down the law in Mos Pelgo as the Pike Syndicate is running spies through his territories. He may no longer have the Boba Fett armor, but his skills and reputation make him an intimidating figure for the Pikes. What follows, familia, is the best 30 minutes of Star Wars media that we have gotten since Rogue One. As we saw on the last episode, Din Djarin mentioned that he had to pay a visit to our friend Grogu, and Dave Filoni delivered. He landed on a bright jungle planet where he is greeted by none other than everybody's favorite droid, R2-D2. Okay, first bit of context. Where the hell are we in the timeline? Well, this Book of Boba Fett is happening around roughly 9 ABY, which means this is like 5 years after Return of the Jedi. What this means is that Luke, R2-D2, and Grogu are at the prime moment timeline-wise to start the new Jedi Academy. Unfortunately, we know exactly how that's gonna end because of everybody's favorite nephew, but let's move on. Speaking of the Academy, after a couple of fun interactions between Mando and R2-D2, we get a first-hand look at how the ant droids are building the new Jedi Temple. Up until this point, we had never seen the ant droids in live action, but they look cool, which is all that matters. Jungle, transitions, and boom, we got the money shot. 2 years after making his appearance in the end of The Mandalorian Season 2, Luke Skywalker, El Rey de la Salsa, is back. A lot of people seem to be conflicted on the internet, but personally, I think the CGI quality for this episode has been outstanding. And in case you were wondering, wow, this looks really different to The Mandalorian Season 2, this is why. After making a viral video last year, Lucasfilm hired the popular deepfake YouTuber Shamook to clean up its high-budget CGI. Whatever Disney paid, it was worth every single penny because Mark Hamill looks like he came straight out of a time machine. The de-aging visuals and the voice work for Luke Skywalker's appearance were top-notch. We finally get to see Grogu and Luke Skywalker tune into the Force together and meditate at the top of a hilltop. Think about that line for a second. After a very cute moment with some very familiar froggies, Luke takes Grogu on a walk and starts to talk to him about the similarities that he sees between him and his master Yoda. An absolutely amazing moment of character development and nostalgia as Luke Skywalker is reminiscing about the lessons that his master imparted to him, and he mentions the very specific quote, "Size matters not." Straight after that though, in typical Dave Filoni fashion, we get another flashback at Order 66. And finally, after years of speculation, it is confirmed that Grogu himself was at the Jedi Temple in Coruscant as the Jedi Purge was happening. 3 of the Jedi in the temple sacrificed their lives to protect Grogu, and we get a small tease into who saved him from the invasion. Then we don't see a face, but my pick is Mace Windu. I don't know how it's gonna work, but hey, a man can dream. At this point, Luke imparts more wisdom onto Grogu, explaining how the galaxy is a treacherous place, just as we transition to another big reveal. Mando is just chilling, enjoying the sun with R2-D2 as the amazing Ahsoka Tano makes her return. Rosario Dawson looks absolutely gorgeous in the practical makeup that we saw at the end of Mandalorian Season 2. With that being said, the design and the execution for the tendrils on the back of her head look upgraded from the last time we saw them, so that's a plus. We get a nice moment between her and R2-D2 interacting as we've seen multiple times before in the Clone Wars TV show. The main issue is, however, that Mando wants to see Grogu in order to give him his gift, and Ahsoka is like, look, the attachments that he feels to you are going to be very difficult to let go. Din remarks that Grogu is a Mandalorian foundling that was left in his care, so the gift is his right under the creed. As you know by now, in order for a Jedi to fully embrace their training, they have to let go of all worldly attachments, and thus, he has to leave the gift with Ahsoka for her to give to the new Padawan. Another fantastic set of Easter eggs, we get to see Grogu traveling in the back of Luke's backpack just as Yoda did in Empire Strikes Back. This cute scene is followed by a training montage where Luke shows Grogu how to dodge attacks from the training droid, just like he fought it in A New Hope during his first lightsaber lesson with Obi-Wan Kenobi. Of course, it wouldn't be a Star Wars training scene without running through the jungle, and Luke essentially recreates his entire jungle routine from Star Wars Episode 5. At this point, I was already in tears. He also offered us a look at his new lightsaber skills, which is a pretty nice touch, actually. Luke Skywalker teaching Grogu about balance and using the Force felt beautifully wholesome and heartwarming. Just like that, though, we transition into the most satisfying conversation in the episode. We finally get the answer to the question, does Luke Skywalker know Ahsoka? And the answer is yes. In a beautiful connection across the Star Wars universe, they discuss the Mandalorian's connection to Grogu as Ahsoka tells Luke how much he's like his father. This honestly also brought a tear to my eye, as we know that the Padawan-master relationship that she had with Luke's father was something complicated but amazingly beautiful. Boom shakalaka, we're done with the jungle, and now we're going back to Tatooine. Mando joins Boba Fett, Black Chrysanthemum, and Fennec Shen as they prepare to go to war with the Pikes. Din Djarin figures out, we kinda need more soldiers, so he goes to Mos Pelgo to try to convince Cobb Vanth to join into the action. After a cool but definitely stressful conversation, Cobb Vanth agrees to help Mandalorian in the battle, and then Mando leaves. Talk about bad timing, because the ending is about to get absolutely explosive. As the name of the episode suggests, from the desert comes a stranger, and that stranger is none other than Cad Cad Bane. For those of you who may be unaware, Cad Bane is one of the most prolific and well-known bounty hunters in the entire galaxy's history. Both him and Bossk were a big part of Boba Fett's training, and we learn in this Western-style standoff that he's now working for the Pikes. If you want to learn a little bit more about Cad Bane, I highly suggest that you go watch The Clone Wars, which is available on Disney+. A lot of his story is contained there, but he also shows up in the Bad Batch fighting Fennec, which connects him to the story. To give you a very brief summary, he was one of the most important bounty hunters during the Empire's rise to power. This man was so smart, so cunning, and so efficient that he was hired by Palpatine and Jabba the Hutt for the most important jobs. To put it into perspective, Cad Bane infiltrated the Jedi Temple to steal a holocron, which had all of the identities from Force-sensitive children across the galaxy, and had to bring it to Palpatine. You may be wondering, how did he open that? He's not Force-sensitive. Well, he forced Anakin Skywalker, the Chosen One, to open it for him. He was well known across the galaxy for unaliving other Jedi. He's fought Obi-Wan, and the most important part of it all, the most amazing feat that I can remember, is that he resisted Jedi mind control from Anakin, Mace Windu, and Obi-Wan at the same damn time. Of course, with that, you can guess that Cobb Vanth and the Help did not stand a chance. Cad Bane went pew pew, and they both went down faster than Usain Bolt can run the 100 meters. Thankfully, Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau know exactly what they're doing, and they mix prosthetics and CGI to make Cad Bane look incredible in live action. Corey Burton also lends his iconic voice performance that we saw in the Clone Wars for the live action interpretation, and it couldn't be better. He is menacing, intimidating, and he's working for the Pikes, so that is setting up a battle between Boba or the Mandalorian, one or the other. Don't be surprised if we also see Bossk in a 2v2 battle. Finally, we get to the last scene in the episode, which had me scrambling for my blood pressure pills. We see Grogu and Luke interacting within the Jedi Temple. Luke tells Grogu that the Mandalorian has given him a gift, which is revealed to be a Beskar chainmail armor. An amazing wholesome moment followed by an even better reveal. Luke implores him that he has to make a choice. You have to let go of all of your worldly attachments in order to become a Jedi, or you choose to be a Mandalorian. This choice is beautifully represented by iconic objects within the Star Wars universe in the most amazing ultimatum. Ultimately, Grogu has to choose, and the choice is pretty hard at that. On one hand, you have the Beskar steel armor gifted to him by none other than his caretaker and Mandalorian mentor Din Djarin. And on the other, Luke offers him Yoda's very lightsaber to become a Jedi, leave his otherworldly possessions, and join the Jedi ways. That right there, homies, is how we end, and it is the decision of the century. As you can tell from my reaction, obviously, this is the best episode that we have seen. It is a solid 10 out of 10. I know I said this about the previous episode, but this was essentially Avengers Endgame for Star Wars. Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau single-handedly revived the Star Wars hype with a 30-minute episode that didn't even show Boba Fett. I mean, we see him for like 5 seconds, but he doesn't even say a word. This episode was an absolute masterpiece, and it showed exactly why Star Wars is so beloved for fans of every decade. They connected the TV shows, the movies, and the expanded universe in a way that makes it all canon in a beautiful explosion of nostalgia and amazing storytelling. Well, that is all it from me, familia. If you enjoyed this Easter egg breakdown, make sure to hit that like, share this with your friends, make sure to subscribe, and hit that notification bell icon so you can get instant notifications for whenever I post and whenever I go live. Speaking of going live, I go live every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. I'm playing Pokemon Legends Arceus on my stream, and you're more than welcome to join me. As always, stay sexy, crack a smile, just ride the wave, and I'll see you on the next one. Blow!